message gets lost. So today I wanted to speak about self-sabotage and really understanding about self-sabotage and knowing how to identify it, which isn't often easy, by the way, and just what capabilities self-sabotage has on us as an individual, really what damage it can do. I'm going to digress for a moment, and there's a reason and there's an intention behind it. We often look at self-sabotage as a horizontal level and believe that we just got to fix this or fix that and then we'll stop self-sabotaging. That's not actually the whole fact. The truth of the matter is this: in order to really identify any self-sabotage, we need to work vertical. We need to really deep dive into what's going on in the depth of our subconscious, because self-sabotage stems from our subconscious. And generally, the core of your self-sabotage is lack of self-esteem, lack of self-worth, lack of self-belief. It could be attached to a moral, a value, an event, a situation, a trauma, a pain, but it doesn't just stem from here. This is the symptom. The self-sabotage becomes the symptom, which is the mind. The mind is what tells us things that we need to be doing. And the mind is often where the BS stories stem from, or come from rather. They stem from our vertical self about what's going on in our depths of being. So when I speak about self-sabotage, there are two types. You have the conscious one, which clearly means it's intentional. We're consciously aware that we are self-sabotaging. An instance is, we know that we have to do a video. I'll speak for me. I know that I have to do a video, but I will consciously find things to distract me so I don't do the video, because doing the video for me is uncomfortable. Although I know that for my journey to move forward and to attain my goals, the end result, recording videos is part of my journey. So I will procrastinate, consciously, of course. Then there is a subconscious where I really have all those main goals that I want to do. But subconsciously, I won't write a book, or I will not complete an online course. And subconsciously, I am creating all of these stories as to why, not intentionally, because that's all stemming from vertical self of I'm not good enough, I have fear of judgment, what I know I can't write, I can't do this. Actually, that's a brilliant example. Is for years I've been saying to, and those of you who know me, my friends, I've been sharing with them, I want to write a book, I want to write a book, I want to write a book. Consciously, I have, and it's been coming from my subconscious, saying, I'm not a writer, I can't write. To the point I believed that. This said to me, you're not a writer, you cannot write, don't write, so how are you going to write a book? Hence, I think it's about 10 years now, the book's still not written. That is the biggest form of self-sabotage. And what's happened is, through my journey of healing, I found one self-sabotage and said, oh, Kat, no, you can write a book. So I've got rid of that self-sabotage, and it's morphed itself into another form of self-sabotage that I've had to find and identify and release. Then it's morphed itself into something else, and again and again. Every time I identified another self-sabotage, it morphed itself into something else. And the reason why I share that and I'm able to identify that it morphed itself was because it wasn't until about 6-8 months ago, the words finally came out of my mouth were, I am a writer. I can write. Therefore, that was my identifying factor in that moment. I went, wow. all of those different variants and forms of self-sabotage I have finally caught and thrown out. Because now I am writing more than I ever have. The book's still not here, but books take a while. I'm working on gaining content. There is not one thing in my being anymore that says I'm not a writer. And nor is there anything that's saying I will not write that book. And that was what was going on before. So a tool, and unfortunately with self-sabotage, there is nothing tangible that you can actually hold on to go, that's it. It's, people ask me for tangible tools, and a lot of the work that I do, because we're diving so vertical, we're going deep, there's no one quick fix band-aid that just says, these are the steps you do, and that's how you get rid of it. Because especially self-sabotage, as I've explained, it morphs itself and presents itself in another form. And often it could be years before you're aware of, because clearly with me, it took me years before I fully was aware of, holy damn crap, that bloody self-sabotage has formed and morphed itself into other ways to hold me back from attaining my goal. Because that's what self-sabotage is. It is a form of, I'm going to use the word torture, that holds us back from really attaining what we want in life. And unfortunately, the mind is the assistant to that, because it buys into the stories that we create at a subconscious level and then tells us, now those of you know I don't use the word tell, tells us the BS stories that we actually choose to listen to. We buy into that. So I really want to do an offshoot of this video and speak about my feelings about mindset. And those of you who are on your personal growth journey and that are really focusing on working on mindset, I want to give you, and I want to offer a different perspective about that. And it's just a perspective. It's in my opinion. It's not, you know what? It's my beliefs, because it's the way that I work. I work with everybody, not on a horizontal level, on a vertical level. I want to deep dive into the gut area. I want to find what's been holding you back. What past traumas, what past, pain have you been holding onto that has become this big ball of, it's like a ball and chain that sits in the bottom of your gut. What is in that is holding you back from moving forward? I'm not a band-aid kind of gal. And that's why when people ask me how to rid money blocks, I go, it's not money blocks. It's so much more. That's the vertical level. That's the symptom of what's going on much deeper in your vertical space. It's not as simple as just addressing that. So if for you, you're listening to this and the vertical doesn't resonate with you, then maybe a lot of what I share won't resonate with you, and that's okay. I respect that. But if you're a person that really wants to deep dive in vertical and really find what's going on, not just put the band-aid and go, I've got a money block, I'm going to just fix that or work on that. Because I want to leave you with one more thought about self-sabotage and the mind. If you're just focusing on mindset, and yet it's our mind and our thoughts that often feed us stories, I'm going to say BS stories, how does then just working on the mind serve you to move forward? I'm more than happy to, I'd love to hear people's response to that, because for me, it doesn't make logical sense. If we're working only on mindset and finding tools just to band-aid that so we can no longer become anxious or we can no longer become stressed, they're tools. That's freaking hard work to continuously combat that. I work vertical, so we find the cause or the root cause of it. Look at it, identify it, acknowledge it, validate it, and say thank you, then we got a choice. Do we release it, or do you choose to retain it and put it back down there? So I wanted to leave you with those who are on their personal journey. And this was something that I discovered a few years ago when I was doing I spent thousands on personal development, I'm going to share with you. And I always felt that there was something I wasn't getting, because I wasn't really shifting all my fears of self-worth, self-doubt, blah, 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 blah. And then it hit me. It was like, Kat, you need to do the vertical work and really work on all the hurt, the pain, the things that I'd experienced in my past that I had never really worked on, brought to the surface and threw it out. I'm not going to go on anymore because this video is long enough, and I really wanted to keep it to 10 minutes because I don't want to lose you in all of the thought. I absolutely am looking for feedback on this video and your thoughts on it. And if there's something you don't agree with, I want to know about it. I want that feedback. I want that interaction. So this is just a simple part of self-sabotage. I hope that it's given you some answers, and please, by all means, reach out, question what I've shared with you. If it doesn't resonate, great. I want to know about it. I want that interaction, because my videos are about awakening, about offering a different perspective for you to sit with and look at it and mull over it and digest it and process it, turn it on its head, do whatever you need. But I want to share with you the core message. If you're only working horizontal, those things are going to continuously present themselves in their life for you. If you work vertical, you go down to the core, you bring it up to the surface, you look at it, you make a choice whether you want to hold it or throw it out. Release it. Gone. I do this a lot. So for today, that's it, and I really look forward to doing another video, and I hope this has really shown my personality of my passion and my knowledge and my different perspective of how to really work on self and shift all those things that are blocking you and stopping you from really attaining your best life and becoming the best version of you, because each and every one of us absolutely deserve that. And you matter. You matter. See you later.